So we're back on the river Ayr again today. As you can see, the water is absolutely amazing. Probably the best salmon water I've seen all year. The river's up a good height, it's about 2.5 feet, which I like. It's a perfect colour. You've got that bit of peatiness, but not all the dirt which we had the last few times we were fishing. Yeah, we'll just have to see how we get on. I'd like to think that today might be the lucky day that we finally get our first salmon of the year. I'm not holding my breath, but the conditions don't get any better than this. Now this really is my favourite type of water. I mean, this is just a perfect. Couldn't ask for any more. If there's no fish running today, then I'll be quite surprised. Doesn't mean that you're going to catch them, mind you, but yeah, absolutely perfect. The colour, the height, everything. So we'll spend a lot of time normally fishing the pools a couple of times through, and then I'll move on to the next pool, and then the next pool, and then the next pool. But I think today I might just stay here and fish this bit. There's going to be fish moving through, and I don't see why you shouldn't have a chance. I've lost a salmon here. I've never actually landed one, but oh well, just have to try our luck and see. Spinning for salmon, as you can see. So we're trying that gold lure again. It's not very big, I suppose. 12 grams or something maybe. Oh, I don't know. I mean, that'll give you an idea of how big it is compared to my hand. I mean, it must be, what, 4 inches long? And probably about, yeah, 12 to 15 grams maybe. I mean, it's not massive. Water, great. There we go. Definitely cast well with this new braid. Okay, I thought I'd hit the bottom there. Bouncing along the stones. So I actually found that the bank here had a bit of a, well, it's like a seat you can sit down on. Hence the reason I am sitting on the banking. Much more comfortable. Especially after being at work all day. It really is such a good looking water. Now all we need is the fish. Sometimes I try just different speeds of retrieve. I had mostly slow, but this is a bit quicker. And I don't know whether it makes any difference. Okay, hit the bottom. I know I'm getting weed on the lure, but it's actually only when I hook the bottom. I'll touch the bottom. A lot better than a couple of weeks ago, a month ago or whatever, when it first had the rain and the weed was actually flowing down the river. A lot cleaner than then. There was one time I was fishing here in 2020. It's probably the most exciting experience I had fishing here. The water was just like this, perfect, but it was a lot lower. It was maybe only a foot up. So anyway, it was in July, and it was quite a lot of fish in the river at that time. So anyway, I was standing here, spinning away. Never seen a fish, never heard a fish, nothing. And I must have been spinning for 2 hours. And then it was just starting to get dark. It must have been about 10:15, 10 o'clock. And I was just sort of thinking, well, not much happening, gonna pack up soon. So I was just reeling them in my spinner like this, very slowly, just like I'm doing here. And the spinner literally came to the end of the rod like there, where that is just, you know, at the end of the rod, 10 foot out. And I went to lift the lure, and a massive salmon grabbed it right in front of me. And it scared the hell out of me. I nearly fell backwards. And I think the fish got a shock as well, but it hit the lure really hard. And then zoomed off up the pool, and the reel was absolutely screaming. Couldn't hold it at all. It just yeet, straight away. I went right up to the top of the pool. And then it turned. I managed to turn it, and I was reeling the fish back in. And I reeled like mad, but again I could only just keep up with the fish. And it came almost right back down to here again. And then I don't know if it saw me or what happened, but it then decided it was going to go across the river. And it went straight across the river right to the other side. And again I couldn't hold it at all. It was too powerful and too big. I hardly saw the fish apart from the flash of silver when it took the lure. But I mean, it must have been top double figures anyway. I mean, it was vastly more powerful than the normal salmon that you get. So anyway, it took me across there, the reel screaming, and then there was a sunken tree, and I went under the tree, tangled me up, and I could still feel the fish pulling and see it splashing. So I was like, oh, what? So I ran across the river. Only had thigh waders on, and I managed to get the water to go over the waders. But anyway, I was so desperate to get across to get to this fish. And I got across the river, and I ran all the way up the bank there, and by the time I got there, fish had come off, and it had left me hooked in the tree. So I lost the lure, I lost the fish, and I got soaking wet. But yeah, what an experience. So exciting. Just a splash at the end of the rod and a flash of silver in the river. Couldn't really see it because of the water being this colour, but it was a big fish. And as I said, it just took off, and that was it. Nothing I could do. Screaming of reels, and then I ended up losing me in the tree. It's strange, sometimes losing the big fish is actually more exciting than if you actually catch a small one. So we're back at this bit again. To be honest, the water height's better for fishing this today than what it was the last time I made the video, a couple of days ago or a week ago. I prefer it a wee bit higher, just like this. I mean, it wasn't a bad water the last day either, but this is even better. Cannot believe that there's no fish so far, or even seen any fish. So maybe with the water being up, those trees might have moved, because it was up at 5 feet last night, but well, I haven't seen them. They're obviously still there. You can still see them, the trees there. So I don't know if I was just imagining things, but there seemed to be a bit of a change in the way the water was there, sort of a bit of a bow wave or something, so maybe it was a fish coming in. Well, it's obviously a shoal of 20 pounders. There might have been the rock there. So we're going to try the next big pool down. I did get a salmon there last year, so it's not a bad place to fish. Lovely bit of countryside this, even if you weren't fishing, just to come for a walk. and it's a very pleasant evening. It's about 20 degrees, so it's not cold. Just a nice temperature. Not too hot, not too cold. So just seen a big fish jump. Right, so I've changed to this blue lure. I'm going to try that, Proberus or whatever it's called. Got some weed on it, I think. I did see one fish jump, not on camera like, but there was a bar of silver in the low double figures, like 10 to 12 pound, so that would have done nicely. To be honest, that's more or less coming to the end of today's fishing session. I will fish on after I've turned the camera off a wee bit, and if we hook a fish I'll put the camera back on. But only out for 2 or 3 hours. Very pleasant day by the river. perfect conditions. We saw one fish, so at least that's something. So if you've enjoyed today's video, feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thanks for watching, and see you the next time.